What it do, Superbad Gorilla Pack, it's your boy KG, and today I'm going to be going a day in the life of everything that I do on a day-to-day basis, how I'm always grinding, checking out the list, knocking out the boxes of my to-do list every single day, because we always grinding, always working, always progressing, always producing, always elevating, and I want you guys to see that I'm not just yapping, I'm really doing it, and I want you guys to do it because this is what it takes to level up. If you want to level up as a man, as an individual, you have to grind every single day and make changes every single day. This is why I always express becoming an investor. Start thinking like an investor. Invest into real estate, invest into startup companies, into businesses, into franchises, because thinking like an investor and moving like an investor is what's going to allow you to elevate and move up. Because when you invest into real estate, you're able to depreciate assets, you're able to offset your tax liability, you pay less taxes, you have increasing assets, you have passive cash flow. When you invest into businesses, you're able to write off business expenses, transportation, flights, hotels, even meals. You're able to write off, which will then lower your tax liability as well. You pay less taxes. These tax benefits that allow you to save money and use OPM, other people's money, the bank's money, while you use credit and you use the bank's money while you stack your money. This is what's going to allow you to elevate, because you do not have these benefits, you do not have these incentivizes, strategic benefits when you're just an employee. If you just clock in and do your hours, come home, clock in, do your hours, come home, you just stay an employee, you stay a sheep, always working a constant job, just clocking in and not elevating, not investing, not pursuing side business, pursuing side ventures that can help you grow as an individual, well then you're just going to be stuck, and it's only going to get worse when inflation rises, when interest rates rises, when real estate market depreciates. It's only going to get harder for the average employee, which is why I always tell you guys to grind, invest into real estate, invest into businesses, create your own side hustles, create, because if you just become and stay an employee and just hope and just wait that the government is gonna lower interest rates. Oh, I'll just wait for the government to lower interest rates. I'll just wait for the gas prices to go down. I'll just wait for inflation to go down. I'll just wait, and you just constantly depend on the government. Well, sorry to break the bad news to you, but we'll just see how that goes. Let me know how that goes, because clearly we can all see it's not going well. You have to create and be a man and literally make these changes. Now, with that being said, it is currently 8:02 in the morning. I showered up, I cleaned my desk, I'm in the lab, organized it. My room was a mess. I barely had time to unpack. It's been 2 weeks since I've come back from Japan with the SBGP, and I barely organized my room. My room was disgusting. It was a mess, unorganized. I haven't even unpacked. A messy room is a messy mind. So as you guys can see, my desk is nice and clean. I organized it, wiped it down, vacuumed, doing laundry, cleaning it, because the cleaner my environment, the cleaner my mind, and the better I am to just produce. Alright guys, so first things first on the list, I have to get with my logistics manager on our business, because we had a shipment that arrived damaged. So now I have to talk to my insurance adjuster to get that money for our client. So let's do that.
You see the two documents that were uploaded, or the one that was uploaded this morning and then the other one that was uploaded on the 21st? I'll let your adjuster know.
I love grinding. I love the fucking grind. I really did turn into Top G, Andrew Tate, bro. Shouts out to him, because, you know, he really did motivate me and influence me to just become better, bro. Just fucking grind every single day. Because for those that know, I finally reached my goal of making $100,000 a year. I'm grinding. I have a real estate portfolio. I have a startup business. I have side ventures. I have investments. I have franchises that I'm looking into invest with friends. Me and another friend are now looking into investing into apartment complexes. So I am just constantly grinding. Why? Because for one, I fucking love grinding, bro. I love elevating and progressing and just getting better every single day. I really do. Because you guys know and seen my lifestyle before. You know, I was an amazing position where I had a $55,000 MK5 Supra. I had my dream car, immaculate sports car. I was in the best shape of my life. Oh, always going to the gym, personally training friends and family and even just other clients, making money, helping people get into shape. I was in a beautiful relationship, and I was just living life. I was traveling and doing everything a guy could possibly want. But it got to a certain point where I just got comfortable. I got complacent. Some would say life was just a little too easy. There was no challenge. There was no adversity. There was no building components of character for me. So I said, let me take a step back because I could easily, I'm chilling. I'm making 100 G's a year. I have a fucking $50,000 sports car. I have a girl. I'm chilling. I'm going to high-rise dinners, rooftop dinners and just doing everything, right? But I love challenge, guys. The human animal needs challenge. The human being needs purpose. I promise you, everybody wants to be rich and they want to have a fancy ass sports car and a big ass mansion and just travel the world with a boat and yacht parties with girls and popping bottles and chill. They want to do that every day. I promise you guys, I'm speaking from experience. I'm literally telling you guys, literally every celebrity, every athlete, every rich person, business, real estate mogul, they will tell you that's not what life is about. I promise you, if I were to give you guys like $1 million right now and you could do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, I promise you within like 6 months you're gonna get bored. The human being is not made to do what he wants, to do what she wants, whatever you want. You're made to have purpose, you're made to have discipline, you're made to have a plan, to go after a challenge and demolish it, figure out ways to go around it, figure out ways to solve a problem, figure out ways to elevate yourself. So I literally took a step back. I said, nah, I'm not liking this. So what did I do? I sold my sports car and I traded it and invested into real estate. So now I'm doing real estate and I'm investing into startup businesses with friends. As you guys know, SBGP, we went out to Japan to go pick up inventory for our business and stuff like this. So now I love challenges and I'm going to be transparent because I don't just want to say all the good things about life. For those that don't know, before I left to Japan with my friends, I had an eviction going on. So I had to evict my tenants because they were amazing for the first year, paid my rent on time, no problems, kept my property nice and clean. But the only thing that did fall off was that my tenant was a family, took care of my property, super responsible, super respectful. I think I mentioned this before. However, the tenant, he worked construction, which is a little tricky because, with construction, you have different bosses, different job projects, different paychecks, different locations. It's just different. You don't have a W-2 set job with a company that gives you a constant paycheck every 2 weeks. It's not stable. It's not consistent. You know what I mean? So it got iffy. He started kind of lagging on the payments and I was being nice, because this happened around December. So, he had kids, he's a family. I know life is very expensive with interest rates and bills and groceries, especially when you have kids. So, me being young and being my first, property that I was investing in, I kind of gave him an inch and he ended up taking a mile. In other words, I said, look, it's December. I know you're struggling with rent. Christmas is coming up. You have kids. I'm going to let you off with this month, but please just, give me the next half next month. And he just kept delaying it and delaying it and delaying it to the point where I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to evict you. I had to call my lawyer, which reminds me, that's actually the next phone call that I'm going to have to get on. But I had to call my lawyer and get this eviction process started, and luckily for me, it went very well, very quickly. They didn't even go to court because they didn't have the money to. Very unfortunate, guys, but I want to be transparent and I want to be real with you guys. Just like how I motivate you guys and influence you guys to invest into properties and invest into real estate, it is a risk. When you guys start investing your money into businesses, into real estate, into franchises, into crypto, into stocks, you are not guaranteed to make money. In fact, you will lose money at a certain point. That is just what it comes when it comes to investing, whether it's real estate, business, crypto, stocks, whatever it is, you will lose money. It's unfortunate, but I want to be real with you guys and I want to be transparent with you guys so that you guys are prepared and know that it's not going to be a fucking easy sell. Yes, for the first year, I was having a consistent paycheck at the end of every month. You know, they lived in my property, they're paying me rent, I had constant cash flow, life was good, assets appreciating, I have cash flow, everything's going great. I get to write off and depreciate my assets, so I got a big check at the end of the year from my CPA. That's as good as it gets. But I also want to show you guys and be real about the downsides. You guys are going to have tenants that perhaps they lose their job. Maybe they're struggling. They won't be able to pay your rent, and it sucks. I don't want to evict a family out of my property, but guys, I have bills to pay. I have mouths to feed. I have a life too. You know, I can't just let people just live in my property for free. It's unfortunate. It's real, but it's the truth. It's ugly, but it's the truth. You're going to have to evict people. You're going to lose money because your property is going to be vacant. So now you have to pay that mortgage. Now you have to renovate your property, throw out trash, whatever they left behind. You have to renovate. You have to paint the walls. You have to fix the clouds. You have to clean it. You have to make sure everything is nice and clean so that you can now screen out your property again and get tenants in there again so that you could have constant cash flow. Again, that's just what it is when it comes to real estate. On top of that, you guys see the problems that I have to go with my side business as well. You know, it's not always going to be pretty. You have shipments that you're shipping out of state, internationally, or nationwide. They do arrive damaged. Now, luckily, I have an amazing logistics manager, Ashley, who takes care of everything. I also have an insurance adjuster that I just got off the phone with. So yeah, our client received his property damaged. Luckily, of course, we always insure every single item. So our client will get their money back. Yes, we will get our money back, and everything will be squiggly clean, and everybody will leave the table happy. But this is an unfortunate things that people are going to have to do when you have a business. You're going to have items that get received damage. So you're going to have to talk to the insurance company in order to get the payout. You're going to have to stock up on inventory, whether that's traveling and having to go to another country to go get connections, go get inventory. You're going to have, you know, it's expensive. It's expensive. You're going to have to talk to your CPA about what you could write off, what you can do, what you can't do as far as businesses. And you're going to have to, you know, constantly just make sure that the business is running smooth. Problems will happen when you start moving up in life, when you start trying, when you start doing things, when you start making big moves with real estate, with business. Problems are going to pop up. But that's when it takes guts, ambition, and just straight balls. You need to have the cojones, cabrón, para seguirle adelante. Ponte los pilas y sigue chambeando. Síguele con fuego, con fierro. What that means is, like, pretty much, bro, like, you have to just keep grinding. You have to fucking want it. It's easy to quit and just be like, you know what? I thought about it. I was like, man, this real estate shit, this business shit, it's just so annoying. It's so much work. It's so much downfalls and headaches and setbacks. Let me just sell it off, and then I'll just get another sports car, and then I'll just, you know, go back to my regular day job and just collect my check every 2 weeks and just chill. You know, and just go on dates and go travel the world and go do whatever I want to do and just live comfortably again. No, I know I'm going to get bored of that. I know that's not what I want. I already went down that path. It wasn't my path. I love the grind. I love having challenges. I love having problems that I have to fix. You know, whether that's cleaning out our new property so I can get a screen ready in order for tenants to come and show. Or I have a business that's having a little bit of setbacks, a little bit of problems, so now I got to attack this problem. Or this franchise is not going right, or this is going right, or I have this issue with a friend, or I have this personal issue with myself. Doesn't matter. I see a problem. When I wake up, I'm fucking ready to attack it. I only got like 4 hours of sleep because I woke up, I was jet lagged, so like literally I had to fucking sleep like half the day, which meant I couldn't sleep at night. So here I am, up and early, ready to attack the day, ready to get after my problems. So let me speak to my lawyer and see how this real estate shit is going. So I just wanted to see where we're at.
You're actually able to do something, just go ahead and move forward with it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's the good thing. Baby steps.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Alrighty, honey, I'll let him know that you...
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Man, I have the best fucking team, guys. I have the best team of my real estate attorneys, my insurance adjusters, my logistics team, my family, because, you know, as soon as I got my tenants out there, my family showed up. You know, I was cleaning the house all by myself, and they showed up and helped me out, clean out the yard, get everything nice and clean. We're going to repaint the walls. We're going to scrub out the floor. We're going to do a deep cleaning. and just get the house way better, because you know, when you guys add little things, like I just renovated a new steel fence, I just renovated the new walls, we're about to get them painted, I'm gonna change out the locks. All of this stuff I'm gonna be able to write off, guys, so it's gonna allow me to pay less taxes at the end of the day. I'm using OPM, so it's not even coming out of my own pocket. I'm using credit, so it's actually gonna increase my credit score while I'm spending money on money, getting cash back on money that I'm already gonna spend. And I just have an amazing team. I'm literally blessed. I thank God every single day for the great team that He allows me to have. And this is what I like, because when you're making big moves, you're making new connections, you're making new partnerships, you're literally networking and building a team as you go along, which is amazing. Especially now that we went to Japan, I made a huge networking team. I have a bunch of friends that are going to help us get a warehouse in Japan for us to stock cars, stock inventory, so that we will officially have boots on the ground. That will eventually help me get my visa, business visa, or even a marriage visa that we were talking about, because I just love Japan. I know I'm gonna have to live out there. It's amazing. So we're gonna have boots on the ground. I literally have connections out there now that are working, helping us get a home, helping us get a warehouse, just making connections. And I fucking love it, bro. There's nothing that fucking raises my test and gets my dick harder than just like making partnerships, making business moves, making fucking progress every single day. I love this shit. Even though I get setbacks sometimes, even though I get faced with problems sometimes, like evictions and, you know, items that receive damage by people out of state, I love it. I love solving problems. I love making like partnerships and making progress. I fucking love it. It's my fucking dick hard, yo. Telling you guys this shit, bro, because I want you guys to move up and elevate too. I promise you, this is what the human animal needs: is purpose, is drive to want more and create more. But anyways, guys, literally it's been a fucking hour since I woken up. Already talked to my real estate attorney, already talked to my logistics manager, already talked to my insurance adjuster. So I did what I have to do. And maybe I'm thinking about going to the gym right now, kind of get my blood going, you know, get my tests going, you know, just get ready for the day. And just see who's at the gym right now, you know, I'd say what's up to the friends over there. And we'll come back to the lab and keep grinding. Let's do it.